Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of KOIN Conversations. I'm Emily Burris, really excited to sit down today with someone who has become such a part of Portland's business scene. I'm willing to bet you have been to this store many, many times, but do you know the story behind Zupan's Markets? Well, we are going to the source today, sitting down with Mike Zupan, the president and CEO of Zupan's Markets, which is celebrating its 50th anniversary this year. Mike, thanks for coming in.
Emily, happy to be here.
Great to have you here. I'm really excited to kind of get into the backstory of Zupan's Markets because I don't know that everybody knows that it is a locally owned and operated business. Started here 50 years ago. Let's get into the backstory. This was a family business for you.
Yeah, my parents started it back in 1975, and it is interesting how the industry has changed over the last 5 decades. Back then there was a lot of independent grocery stores, and now the independents are far and few in between.
I bet. It's, it's one of those things that we just don't get to see, I feel like, as much this day and age. So how did you initially get into the grocery business? I'm curious.
Well, as I said, my parents started the business. My dad started working at Fred Meyer's when he was in his early 20s. And we really had a love for produce, and I think that's what brought him to the industry. He was working for Fred Meyer's. He started in the produce department, became a produce merchandiser and regional manager for Fred Meyer's for their produce. And then 1975, him and another gentleman left on their own and started their own store. And back then, it was more about selling fresh food, but certainly mainline grocery. And
here you are today, 50 years later. No, it's one of those things where I feel like it's pretty remarkable to see a business like this, like Zupan's Markets, 50 years later, still going strong. What do you credit your, long-term success to?
Well, I think it's really the passion behind food. And it did start with my parents, and it carried on with me. We have a love for food, and we love to share that. And I think if you love to cook and if you love to eat, I tell people those are two things. If you love people and you love food, you'll love our stores. Mm-hmm. Our stores are all about food and really the fresh departments. And it started with produce because that was my father's passion. But it's produce, and it's meat, and it's seafood, and it's food service, and it's cheese and bakery and all the great stuff that we all love. So
it absolutely is. And I'm really glad that you brought up produce, Mike, because I have to tell you, the first time that I ever walked into a Zupan's, I will never forget. It's like I came in the front doors, and I swear I heard a chorus of angels as I looked over at this produce section that was just like the most perfectly laid out, most incredible looking, freshest ingredients. And then as you go around the store, you're seeing these different local tags. You're seeing where stuff comes from. I was blown away. I hadn't ever gotten to see anything like that, and it really did kind of change the shopping game for me. I'm sure I'm not the first person to tell you this.
No, I'd love to hear that, but smile on my face. I think that your shopping should be fun, mm-hmm. and it's very visual as well. And so produce and floral, to me, are two of the most important things. They're the two things you see when you walk into all our stores. You see the floral outside, you see these beautiful bouquets and flowers and freshness, and it kind of sets the tone for the whole shopping experience. And then you go into the store and you see this just abundance of produce and an array of different colors and freshness that the produce brings. And I think we use produce in every recipe or in every cooking that you're doing. There's something from produce that is used. And so produce is such an important department for us.
I think that emphasis has really made Zupan's stand out in the local grocery scene. I'm curious how else you've kind of defined your brand and what you've kind of come to be known by. You guys have had some firsts over these 50 years.
Yeah, well, I think our stores are really based off of a European style shopping, where you're shopping on a daily basis, and you're coming in and what am I going to have today? What's fresh today? And from the produce to what fish came in to a cut of meat or a cheese or a loaf of Ken's baguette or French bread. So you're looking for something. You're shopping on a daily basis. What am I going to eat today? And I think that's what makes our stores different than shopping for like a week, and you're loading up your cart for what you're going to shop for next 5-6 days.
Yeah, absolutely. I do. I feel like I go and I get inspired. I come in there thinking I'm gonna, shop for one thing, and then I see something else. I'm like, what if I tried that for dinner tonight?
Well, I think the discovery
Yeah.
is a big part of the shopping experience, and so when you come to our stores, you don't really know what you want sometimes, but you're going to find something that really intrigues you, and you're like, oh, I want to try that, or maybe you tried something that we're cooking and sampling, and you're like, oh, that's awesome. That's what I'm going to have for dinner tonight or lunch or whatever it might be.
Absolutely. I know I have discovered several local brands, visiting my neighborhood Zupans, and local wines, different cool local snacks, and all kinds of fun stuff. Has that always been kind of a priority for you, to be working with other local makers, other local small businesses?
Well, yes, I think it's the local artisans that, I mean, we're so lucky to be in the Northwest, where we have this just abundance of great artisan producers, and it starts with bakery, and it goes to, it's from cheeses and to meats, and obviously we have the seafood, the abundance of seafood from the ocean that we're so close to, and so we're lucky to have all of that. And I think when you talk about being fresh, there's nothing fresher than local. And so that's really, we've always been about fresh and always been about local and supporting the local artisans.
Mm-hmm. I think that's probably, one of the reasons why we have seen Zupan's markets do so well over the years, because I think Portlanders really do love local. I hear from people all the time. They're like, we've got so many great things here in our community. Those are the people I want to support. So do you feel like in leaning into that, it's helped your business grow?
Well, for sure. And I think that what we have in the Northwest and Portland specifically, but you have a love of food, and you have people who love to cook. I mean, our dining scene, our restaurant scene has been strong, nationally for multiple years and decades. And so I think that the love of food in the Portland area has helped our success, and others, and certainly the small local producers as well.
Absolutely. Okay, we're going to take just a quick break here. Coming up on KOIN Conversations, we're going to chat with Mike about some of the ways they are celebrating this golden anniversary. It wouldn't be 50 years without a big party, so we'll talk more about that next. Welcome back to KOIN Conversations, everyone. I'm Emily Burris, sitting down with Mike Zupan, the president and CEO of Zupan's Markets today. They're celebrating their 50th anniversary this year, so it's been really fun to talk about all the ways that they've grown over the last 50 years, but now we're going to talk about how we are celebrating. Mike, we were chatting during the break, and you told me you love wine, so you are my kindred spirit. Let's talk a little bit about it, because Zupan's does have a fantastic local and international wine selection. You've gotten to kind of share this love with a lot of customers over the years.
We do. We love wine. I just say if you love food and you love cooking, I think you love wine is a natural.
Just a natural, you're good, just a natural marriage of the two.
They are.
For sure. So I'm going to put you in the hot seat then. What is your go-to wine? You're making dinner on a weeknight.
I think
what do you
everyone
do?
who knows me knows I love champagne. And so and I think you can drink champagne at every single meal if you wanted to, and you can never have to have any other wines. It's that versatile, and it really pairs well with all foods. But I'm also, I love French Burgundy. Especially white Burgundy, and actually, and Oregon is making some great Chardonnays right now, which are rivaling some of the French Burgundy. So it's fun to see what's happening in our local market.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's I feel like moving to Oregon and learning about Oregon's wine scene was really what kind of got me into the bigger world of wine. I think a lot of folks here can relate. Is it fun to get to kind of show people new wines or new things about wine in a more approachable setting, like a grocery store? You're not in a tasting room where you're feeling very intimidated. I've been able to come do some wine tasting at Zupan's.
Yeah, and we even say you make we call you dumb it down a little bit, and you make it more approachable and easy, because people can talk, if you go to wineries, you can talk about all the technical aspects of making wine and the scientific pieces of it, but it's pretty simple. And if you taste something, say, do you like it, do you not like it, and how does it pair with what you're going to have? And so I think making wine approachable for people And wine is really made to go with food, and I think that's the most important thing is how it enhances a meal when you have wine with a great meal.
I would say so. Yeah. So I guess you've probably been pairing some champagne with your celebrations this
For
year.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
How are you guys celebrating the 50th anniversary?
We've been doing a lot of things in the stores. I know our team has worked really hard on collaborating with local producers and making special 50th anniversary items for us from our olive oils and our beers and vinegars, and I mean I can just go on and on. So, ice creams, and so we've been having a lot of sales. I know that every month on the 5th of the month we're doing these 5 items that are super special, super deep discounts.
Yeah.
And
What have been some of the items that customers have really gone gangbusters for?
I mean, wine. Last week we sold a lot of Rombauer Sauvignon Blanc. We sold those 2 bottles for $50. Great deal. Our signature hamburgers, which is a fabulous, fabulous product. We did those on sale. We've done our olive oil. We've done. Oh my God! I
could see how the run on wine. Yeah, you put a nice Sauvy B on sale, and you're gonna get some people in the door. That's for sure. It's fun to get to celebrate 50 years. I know I said it off the top of our conversation, but that is no small feat for any local business. Let alone something in the grocery business that's seen so many changes over the last 5 decades. When you look to the future, what's next? Where do you see Zupan's markets going in the years to come?
Well, I do believe, and when people talk about our industry in general, and I think the industry certainly has, not only has it changed, but it's become more commoditized, and where you're finding the same products everywhere you go. And I think staying true to being local and fresh, people will always want to eat quality product. They'll always want to eat good food and local food. So I think staying true to that. So it's not about the commodity of the products. It's really about I think people want to touch it, feel it, taste it, see it, and I don't think that will ever go away. As much as people might want to buy online, I still think when it comes to food, people want to see it and touch it and taste it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you've done a good job, too, of kind of expanding outside the realm of what's just in store with some of these other events and pop-ups and collaborations. Also tying into the 50th anniversary. You've been doing some special events kind of outside of the store. Tell us about that.
Well, I know that our marketing team's done a great job of putting together a bunch of events and tasting events. We've been doing this series of dinners, what's called Dinners with Mike, and because I do love wine, and I've got an extensive cellar that I've been collecting over the years, so I'd love to share that with people. So we're doing these dinners where customers can buy seats at the dinner, and actually a part of the cost goes to supporting the John J. Zupan Foundation, which is something we did in support of my father when he passed back in 2011. But the dinners are really about sitting down, breaking bread, and opening up wine and sharing with people. And we got a few of them still coming up, so they're going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I would encourage folks to check out all that is happening as part of this 50th anniversary celebration. What do you think is the best way for people to stay on top of the 5 on the 5th, the different dinners, all the fun stuff you got coming on this year?
Well, my marketing team would just tell us to sign up for our e-blast, because we can do e-blasts all the time, and we're always promoting what is fresh, what just came in, and so to really stay up onto what's in the stores right now, and certainly all the sales that we do as well.
Absolutely. Okay, so what are you picking up at the hot and ready, the deli counter for those nights when you cannot do dinner yourself? You got to leave it to the pros. I've had many an evening like this.
Sure.
Zupan's is usually my go-to. I'm like, I got to grab something fast. What's your go-to, never fail?
Oh my! On the food service side, it's pretty easy. You've got our enchiladas are awesome, so it's so easy, and you just throw them in the oven. When it's certain times of year, more in the winter, you get lasagnas and pastas and those sort of things. Our sandwiches are fantastic. I think almost anything that is in our food service is great. And so I am in all the time in the evenings, and I don't know what I'm going to have for dinner. So I'm just looking to say, what looks fresh? What did we make tonight? We're usually making something different in the evenings. It hits the cases, around 4 or 5 o'clock for that dinner rush. So
Yeah, I think last time I had to stop by and grab a last minute meal. It was a meatloaf, knocked it out of the park. Yeah, so good, so good. You do sometimes bring in the luxurious element too of pre-made. Whether it's a really really nice burger or lobster rolls. Always a fun one to roll out in the summer. I think it's fun to kind of have something a little more luxury accessible to you here. So why kind of push the envelope in that way and do something just a little fancier for folks at the store?
Well, I mean, our lobster rolls are fantastic,
Yeah, they
and
are.
it's a great example of something that you wouldn't traditionally see in a grocery store, more of a restaurant type of an item. But being the foodies that we are, and knowing that it's not something you would do every day, but we do the lobster rolls once a week, which has been really successful for us, and people look forward to it every Friday. They know it's coming, and then we run that through the fall, and I can't remember when the last lobster roll day is. I think it's sometime in September, early October, but then we don't bring it back until next May. So it is a very limited time frame, and items like that, lobster, caviar, champagne, all those type of things. Everyone wants to celebrate something all the time. So
For sure. And I'm a proponent of it shouldn't always have to be a very special occasion to make something feel like a special occasion,
Well, that's what I say about champagne. I said you can open up a bottle of champagne any day and say, what are you celebrating? I'm just celebrating today.
I was thinking about like my little weeknight splurge for myself on the nights when I'm just feeling a little fancy is like a very elevated girl dinner, where I'll do a little charcuterie board for dinner, cheese and crackers, but much more so than the Lunchables of my youth, right? I really like to kind of zhuzh it up a little bit. What's your kind of everyday elevated when you just want to feel a little fancy?
I do. I love cheese and salami. And just kind of the Mediterranean diet a little bit, and getting some olives and getting some cheese, some pita bread, glass of wine, and it's easy. You can put together a great charcuterie board or platter, and you kind of graze and some nuts and some fruits and.
It was such a life hack for me when I figured out that, as an adult, no one's going to tell me I can't have a charcuterie board for dinner.
You can.
I can, and I can pair it with some Zupan's wine and just have a little night of it. So, Mike, as a businessman, I want you to kind of put on the CEO hat here for a minute. What advice would you give to someone who has a dream of their own, is maybe trying to start their own business, or who is in it with their business just hoping they can make it to 50 years and get to celebrate an anniversary like this? What would you say to someone who is thinking they want to, forge their own path?
Yeah, I tell everyone there's no easy business. All businesses are hard. All businesses are difficult. But you have to have passion behind what you do. And I think if you have the passion, and you have to have also, I think you have to look out to the future and be willing to do the things necessary to be successful. And I always say, you're going to have to work twice as hard as you think you're going to have to work. It's probably going to cost you twice as much as you thought it was going to cost you, and it's going to take you twice as long. So if you're willing to do all those three things, you'll be successful.
Interesting. Is there something looking back that you wish you could have done differently, or something that you feel like you've really learned along the way?
Oh, I think you're always looking, in the past and say, hey, I wish I would have built this store, or I wish I would have done something differently, or taken this opportunity. But we've really focused on the 3 stores that we have, and really being the best that they can be, and what the city of Portland can support for what we try and offer.
Absolutely. And I do think that, Portland is kind of a player in all of this as well. I'm from, the East Coast originally, so I talk to folks back east and try to explain to them just the overwhelming bounty that we have in this region, of whether it's the produce that we can grow, or the local makers and the other fantastic local restaurants and food provisions and businesses here. I do think there's an ecosystem in this area, kind of different from many other big cities, and I'm curious what you think. Portland kind of plays in where Zupan's Markets is today, and where it's going to go in the future.
Well, I agree. I mean, I travel all over the country, and I travel internationally as well, and I'm always looking at stores and always looking at operations, food operations, whether it's restaurants or markets and different things. And when people visit Portland and they come to our stores, I hear it all the time. It's like, oh my God, I love your store. I love your store. I wish we had one wherever it might be, and wherever they're living and coming from. So I don't think Portland maybe take it for granted how great of a city we are, and the like I said, the local artisan producers, to how close we are to the ocean, how close we are to wine country, and so just the bounty of product that we have. And so I think that we're really, really fortunate in the Northwest.
Yeah, we are so fortunate, but I will give Zupan's a lot of props. You guys do a great job of showcasing that bounty in a way that just brings it to life, unlike many other places you can shop. So thanks for an awesome 50 years, and I'll probably see you again soon for a lobster roll for lunch.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Well, Mike, thanks for joining me on KOIN Conversations. Again, if you want to learn more about Zupan's Markets, how they're celebrating their 50th anniversary, zupans.com is the place to go. You can sign up for that mailer, get the inside scoop on all the deals. And of course, if you want to learn more about all the fantastic happenings around town, KOIN.com is your place for it all. Thanks for joining us here on KOIN Conversations. We'll see you again very soon.